Hi YouTube, Maya here. This is take 100 of this video. This is a video of what it's like to grow up without a mother. This is my perspective. This might be the perspective of many young women. And that's not just because their mother was, killed. Could be that they died when they were young and they only had their dad or whatever. For me, personally, oh my god. I'm not getting teary-eyed already, am I? For me, it's really difficult. Mostly mentally for me, but I'll get to that. I don't want to cry already. For me, like I said, I had a mother figure up until I moved out at 16. Well, it wasn't up until then. I moved out at 16 because she kind of pushed me away when she had her own kid, and yeah. So the only things I knew from her, she taught me how to iron. I think it's kind of easy to vacuum. I don't want to say I learned how to vacuum from her or do dishes. Those are fairly easy things to do, but and I knew how to cook two things, and that was omelets and I think just eggs. Two breakfast things. That's all I knew how to cook from her. I obviously know how to read a box to microwave, food. But everything else that I've made in the past was self-taught. Google is my best friend when it comes to making new food. I learned how to season meat from Google. I learned how to cook meat in the oven from Google. I prefer to cook things in the oven. I learned how to grill a cheese sandwich from watching someone after I graduated high school, I think. Or maybe I was around 16, I don't know. And I learned how to make pasta from Google. From Google/YouTube. And that's like, as a female, like I used to hear people talk shit about me all the time about not being able to cook, even though I was young, like 16, 17, 18. But I think I do pretty good. However, I have burnt some stuff. I have, mixed things that don't taste so good. I'm not a chef by any means. However, I do like to, mix things together. I want to be that mom that makes smiley face pancakes and stuff like that. Cute stuff like that. I have pants on, shorts that go with this top. That's why my knee is naked. I am not naked. But yeah, I am sitting on the bed because the light's over here. My daughter's sleeping on the couch. So, different setup. But yeah, cleaning is kind of self-explanatory. You just read, what the cleaning supplies for. However, that wasn't really something I was taught either. And to be honest, a lot of guys don't know how to fucking clean for shit or cook for shit. I know my man really doesn't. So he's lucky to have me, even though I'm not no chef. I'm like, okay, to put it this way, I am the chef from Ratatouille, and Ratatouille is like Google and YouTube. But I get the job done with my own hands. I just need a little guidance, instructions, but yeah. So that's, and I don't know, because I wasn't completely raised by like a man, like a single dad or anything, because that's hard for a single dad to raise a woman, just like it's hard for a single woman to raise a man, because you don't know, you don't know this perspective of the other sex. As a single dad can't really, can't, or I guess won't, talk to his daughter about her period and stuff, because I mean they really have no say. Like, I mean they can Google stuff, but they really don't, men don't have the ability to say anything that comes to women's bodies. But anyways, that's a different video for another time. But yeah, so for me, I think it might have been the lack of sex education for her, but my FM made me believe that if I use a tampon before having sex, excuse me, that would take my virginity. Maybe she didn't want to get me accustomed to, doing stuff down there, but that's whack as fuck. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, it's just like small things that I've had to teach myself, and probably things that later on I probably will have to teach myself or Google or ask somebody else about, because you learn new things every day. Unfortunately, there were years of me not learning. I mean, obviously I learned new things, but not learning more about my body because I didn't have the mother figure. So yeah, so it's a lot of, I don't think people think twice before they say things when they're like, oh, well, she doesn't know how to cook, she doesn't know how to clean. Not to say that I just go up to everyone like, hi, my name's Maya and I grew up without a mother, so be careful. Like, I I do tell people about, my mom being deceased at the age of 23 when I was 3 years old. But yeah, it's not something that I go into depth in. I don't know. Just had a stroke. Anyways, it's not something I talk about a lot. Details, because that's very uncomfortable. It was very crushing to me to hear how nonchalantly the details of my mom's murder was when I was 12 years old, and not to say that he didn't care. He actually wanted the casket closed because he didn't want to see her face that had to be reconstructed. And that's not gonna say anything more than that, because that is kind of invasive to my family. I would have to get some more information, get some permission, verbal permission to speak about this, because I don't want my family to be, oh, let me see what Maya's up to, and then just see me talking about my mom's murder to thousands of people. Not to say that thousands of people will watch my videos, but still, the internet is forever. But yeah, so sorry, I got distracted. So the biggest issue for me growing up without my mother that has me crying all month is the fact that she's not here. And I know you don't have to, like I said, this doesn't have to be a huge case of like, oh, my mom was murdered for anyone to feel like this, but like, you want, especially as a woman, you want your mom by your side to pick out your prom dress. You want your mom by your side to pick out your wedding dress, to be there for your bachelorette party, for like this stuff like that. And I don't have that. I will never be able to experience that from a daughter's perspective. I'm just glad that this happened to me. I'm not glad that, my mom's dead, but I'm glad this happened to me versus my daughter. There's just a lot of things about the whole situation, like for me personally, as soon as I gave birth to my daughter, it was like, I will kill for this child. I will die for this child. So, not to get too into detail, but where my mom was murdered, it was like an alley, and there were people living in apartments close by. So for me, like, I have this thing of, like, my thought of, did she scream? You know, when she was being attacked, was she calling for help and no one came? And because of that, I have this thing where if I hear screaming, I get like chills up my spine. I can't sleep. And it's not like, you know, there's different types of screaming, like kids screaming, playing, and, you know, screaming, laughter, whatever. But like, I remember when we lived in this apartment with this couple, we were roommates. There was a domestic dispute outside, and this woman came out screaming, and it wasn't like, I think she got, like, I think someone hit her or something like that, and that's like the worst kind, is when someone's in pain or someone's scared, and it just like triggers something in me that like, I get goosebumps, my hair stands up, like I cannot deal with it because I think about my mom, like I just think about my mom, and had she screamed and had someone heard her and just been like, oh, this is Chicago, you know, people die every day, I'm not gonna get involved, you know, and that's like, and at the same time, like, I can't, and it's not that I'm mad at, it's not that if I knew someone heard, that I would be mad at them, because I wouldn't know what to do, like, for me today, I wouldn't know what to do because I have a daughter to take care of. They, you know, someone who heard might have a family, might, you know, like, you know, but it's still just, it's something that has really affected me, and it's just solely from my mind, thinking about something over and over. Like, I wasn't there, I never heard her, you know, I was 3 years old when this happened, this was so long ago, but it's just something that really, really bothers me, it's just like, and it's things, it's, because like I said, hearing stuff like the details of her murder at 12 years old has made me a little desensitized. So I do, and not saying that anyone who listens to scary stories to go to sleep is desensitized, but you know, some scary story channels on YouTube are really good when they do like background noises and, you know, like really cool stuff, and like I can't even, like, if I'm listening to a scary story thing on YouTube and I hear like a scream, I can't, like, I have to turn that off because it's really bad. Like, I'll wake up out of my sleep, I'll, like, it's just something that really, it's affected me, and I'm not quite sure. I know it's something I think about a lot, when I think about her death, like, to be exact, when I think about, like, how she died, when I Google it, you know, the information, I just think about, like, all that, and she wasn't screaming and no one heard her, like, yeah, it's just, that's affected me, growing up without my mom, but like I said, it's a lot of just emotional shit that, like, I keep telling myself, now that I have my daughter, I have to stop thinking like a daughter and start thinking like a mother, and I'll always be a daughter, and my mother will always be my mother, but I know my mother would want me to, you know, start thinking like a mother, and instead of dwelling on all the things I missed out on with her, to do it with my daughter, and like it just, as a parent, it kind of scares me because I missed out on so much, and I want my daughter to have everything I wanted that I never had, but there's still the fact of, like, people put their kids in like beauty pageants and stuff, and the kids fucking hate it. But you know, mommy used to be in beauty pageants, or mommy wanted to, but she couldn't, so now you have to. And I don't want to push my daughter into anything she doesn't want to do. But for the most part, I would assume she would want to go to prom and, you know, get married. But I mean, if she doesn't want to, that's okay. But I look forward to having my own memories, and events like that will make me sad, and I know that. Like my own events, when I get married, I'm gonna be sad that my mom can't be there, but I will leave a chair open for her. Yeah. It's just really hard. And like I said, I try to hold my tongue when I hear people talking bad about their mom, because I never know if their mom was abusive, if their mom did this. Like, I've heard some crazy ass shit about what these mothers do to their kids. Like, it's just crazy. But I'm just rambling. But if you are young and you're watching this and you got mad at your mom because she didn't let you go to a house party, and you know, called her names or slammed the door or snuck out, or you know, whatever, you need to apologize to your mom, because she just wants what's best for you. And I know that now as a mother, and I know my daughter isn't at that point yet. And even when she does get to that point, I'll try my best to make her understand that I'm not saying no just to say no to things. Because I know we all go through that phase of, oh, they just don't want me to have fun, they just don't want me to do this and that and that. But yeah, appreciate your mom, love your mom. If all your issues are she said no to something, or she took something away from you, or, you know, she said something that you didn't want to hear because you wanted a yes man and not critical thinking and, you know, real life shit, just appreciate your mom, because we all die one day. We all die. And I think that God did this for a reason, because he knew that I could handle this better than being, you know, living my life with my mom and just losing her. But yeah, I keep rambling on and on. This video probably makes no fucking sense, but appreciate your mom, because there are those of us who don't have their mom, whether it's, you know, from a young age, or, you know, their mom just recently died and they love their mom. Like, just, you know, just appreciate your mom, give her a hug, tell her she's doing a good job. She'll appreciate it. Well, that's it for today's video. See you guys later.